My first statement is don't do it when we do sticky type of items like cloud managed solutions. Look for the escape hatch. When we manage Kubernetes clusters, when we develop things, we try to have that same philosophical view. Like, how do we escape from it? So if we're using EKS, which is again, like, I mean, it's a managed service for, AWS on Kubernetes, we really think about like, okay, how would we escape that particular stickiness so that it could work in another cloud provider easily? So from my standpoint, a lot of that is the don't try to sprint before you crawl. So there's a little bit of like do it well on one cloud provider first, then look at disaster backup recovery style of approach. So how might I recover this kind of cluster, this kind of operation into another cloud so that it's more like your failover? Because do you really need to have multi-cloud? Like, are you doing it because you're scared and you have a risk that you don't understand? Or are you doing it because there's like a strategic benefit, or the cost of downtime from one cloud provider is going to be so detrimental for maybe those 5 minutes or maybe a day? But generally speaking, you kind of want to make sure that you understand the business of impact of if that dependency goes down, like what's the deal? What I oftentimes see is that people are like, we're going to do multi-cloud Kubernetes deployments and everything, and yet some of their underlying core infrastructure is still relying on a one cloud provider. So you're like, sweet, you now have all this complexity of managing across cloud providers, but you still have the root dependency on one of them, so you can't leverage it anyways. So that's where I still go back to my first answer is don't. My second answer is why? Why do you need to? And then my final answer would be like, okay, cool, we can get there, but let's do the crawl, walk, run, sprint, and get that organizational knowledge and that muscle. It's a muscle that you'll have to exercise to be able to get there. But you also need to understand it's not going to be free, and it's not going to be cheap, and it's not going to be easy. It doesn't inherently have to be complex. You don't have to create a complex solution to it, but it's not going to be easy to get there. It's especially going to be hard to get to a simple solution that then is easy to maintain and is high leverage.